What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Danny the Bull in the house. Danny, how you doing? I'm just changing your name here before I beat you up. How's it going,
It's all
Danny?
good, brother.
I don't know if you know the boxing, but there you go. Amazing. Oh, that last one got me right in the eye, man. He was practicing for that one, guys. If you do not know Danny the Bull's channel, he's been doing YouTube for a while. He's been covering OMI. He's been covering Veve. He's got a great collection behind him of physicals. It looks like he's got the Todd on over his left shoulder there. So awesome to have you on, filling in for Rob, who's still on his honeymoon. And hopefully some new people find your channel this way, and it helps to grow the space. I mean, we've been doing it all week. We've been trying to bring in other creators that are covering this. So I'm just pulling up your channel now. I should have done this earlier, but I'll pull it up in a second here. So
thank you, brother. Thank you for welcoming me to the Superstar family.
Yeah, no, Superstar Danny the Bull. I mean, great name too, by the way. I really like that. So if you guys are new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we're going to post another one of these collab videos. You might find somebody you've never seen before. Maybe you've never seen Danny before. So if you haven't, definitely a must subscribe. I will show you his channel in a second. Also, join the Superstar VIP. Get a nice badge next to your name, access to our spreadsheets, giveaways that we do, all kinds of stuff, first access to merch. It's crazy. People have been asking about the hats. The hats have been reserved, guys. It's been a month. Maybe we're going to come out with some more merch, but they've been reserved for a while now. Shout out to all the VIPs, guys. Thank you very much. You get your name in the stars there. And if you want to follow us, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. On Twitter, you can find our VV profile. We got a Discord link in the description. We got a PO box in the description. All a bunch of fun things that you guys can follow us on. Now, I got Danny pulled up over here, so I'm going to show you guys his channel. So if you haven't, make sure you go check out Danny the Bull. He's putting out content. He's got a very consistent thumbnails. I love the look of your channel. Very, very cool. And look how much he covers, guys. OMI, Veve, all different types of stuff. He talks about the status of the market. He's not biased. He will explain to you why he thinks what he thinks. So why don't you explain a little bit about how you got into Veve, how you got into OMI, and what made you start doing YouTube, and then talk a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, sure. So I got into OMI first. Back, I want to say May of last year. I'd originally heard about OMI from Andre Jick, which is I think a lot of people first heard about OMI from him, and it piqued my interest because it was an NFT play, and I was, the space was starting to emerge, and I found it to be an interesting way to get into the space. But it was a very small coin, and at that time I wasn't really focused on 10 steps to buy a token. So I kind of like just kept it in the back of my mind. A couple months passed. I saw more of it, did a deep dive, and I saw the team behind it. I saw, Alfred Kahn, a lot of the same things that hooked people. I saw the partnerships, and to me, it made sense as a play in the NFT space. Unfortunately, I didn't dive into the Veve collectibles at that time, just because I have a super obsessive personality. When I get into something, I go all in. So I was all in on crypto at the time. I didn't want to, go down that rabbit hole of, getting into NFTs. So I figured if Veve was successful, then OMI would be successful, as a proxy. So I mainly focused on OMI up until probably around that Golden Moments drop, when they linked with Disney, did the Golden Moments, the first ones back. I think that was November. Yeah. My plan was to go for those, but I was in Nashville at the time, and I got sidetracked. I got sidetracked on the strip of Nashville, and then I saw how those exploded. Right after that, I started accumulating some collectibles. So that's kind of my story. As far as YouTube is concerned, it was always in the back of my mind, starting a channel. I never knew what I wanted, where I wanted to gear it towards. And then one day my kids just said, you should start a channel on crypto. So that's what I did.
No, I mean, I really enjoy your content. It's always a variety of things. Like you talk about OMI and Veve. So not too many channels do that. Like we don't really talk about OMI as much as maybe we should. We talk about it a little bit, but we're obviously more into the Veve space. than OMI. But I think it sounds like some OMI stuff might be coming down the pipeline, and you might be set up if you were banking on OMI. I love how there's this differentiation amongst different people in the community. A lot of people are OMI based, a lot of people are Veve based, some people are both. Like now you have both as well. But I think the whole OUP and how whenever that comes out, that could change a lot of things. Like even if your strategy was like collect OMI or just accumulate OMI, we always had this anticipation of OUP coming and having a lot more utility than it does. We had Putting Cheeks on a couple of months ago now, and he was mentioning how maybe earlier on they had that type of interaction where you would have to watch the OMI charts and watch the collectible charts. Then obviously they took it away, but sounds like that might be something that comes back. And how dynamic that would be. Like you'd have to be watching multiple charts and deciding not just based off collectible prices, but you look at the OMI and say, does it make sense to flip into the OMI right now? And it could be wild. So it's cool that you're in OMI. And have you ever thought about it that way?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's super important that we get that utility because, right now, OMI doesn't really do anything, right? It's just, it's in the background, the reserve wallet, it's not in circulating supply. It's integrated into some small projects and has, some minor utility right now. But that, real utility plan, the program is what's going to really fuel the token and give it some traction. And I definitely think there's going to be a symbiotic relationship between OMI and the Veve collectibles, and they're going to feed off each other, 100%. If you see like those collectibles going on a run like they did in January, you're going to see people take profits into OMI. And so they're going to feed off each other. It's going to be an ecosystem backed by the OMI token. I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So no, I really appreciate that you're well versed in OMI. I mean, you could bring a lot to this conversation. So I'm going to go through the Twitter news for people who haven't been informed, just so that they see what's happening throughout the day, and we'll talk about it. We'll ask you some questions about that as well. But shout out to Myth of Dragons. This is a good friend Omicron on Twitter. He runs this project, and it looks like they've passed half an ETH in volume. So for a startup project, very, very cool. They're celebrating. You can join their giveaway if you would like. Another artist that is from the community of Veve did I don't know if you saw it. It was like a letter V, and it was filled in with all Veve community images that he drew. He made it into NFT, and he did some giveaways. So he looks like he's doing something else for 20 people. I love the community aspect, like how people are able to be so creative and like do their own projects. Like Veve's going to come with their utility, but at the same time, you have all these people who love Veve that are doing their own little projects on the side. So we see that every day.
Yeah, and I think that's the real power and strength of this project. I think, the NFT space, all these projects, they're going to be driven by community. And the projects with the biggest and the strongest and most passionate communities are going to be the ones that do the best over time. And you're seeing that, Veve, I think it's kind of unparalleled in what I see in other, projects.
Yeah, we mentioned it. I think it was Sleeping Comics was on a couple of days ago. We mentioned how even if Veve doesn't bring that utility that you want, it sounds like they're willing to work with people regarding having OMI utility. I mean, ecomi sounds like they're willing to work with other, if it makes sense for them, they would work with the project. So like we might see some utility from the OMI token, or even just in general from community-based projects that might trump some of the utility on the actual app, which is really bullish. And we're seeing the beginnings of it here. These are the things that we're seeing with these types of projects. And who knows? You never know. We got Fiches as well. Like that was one that Brock brought out. And now he's obviously a partner with OMI. So there's going to be other things that come up for this. The more people that find it, obviously, there's going to be more intelligent people who are able to put these things together. So we are excited about that. Another reason why we're really bullish. This is another member of the community, Bravos Assassin, has Veve set list, and he posted this before the drop saying how many uncommon, ultra rare, and secret rare. And I think Crispy Chill was the one who came up with that data. Also, Pyromaniac is his name on Twitter. And then also he shows you how many MCP points. So like there's so many community-driven projects just outside of Veve that are adding to that and helping you decide what to purchase or what to pick up maybe. So it just keeps adding. Like every post I go through, it's another community member.
Yeah, it's really crazy how different people play different roles within the community and bring in some sort of value. Yeah. And the whole thing is just, it grows and it's going to continue to grow. I think we're going to see more games like Epico Regal. You got, the VMate app, which is now you can stake some OMI. on there to get premium access. I think that you're going to see more and more things that are community driven that give OMI that utility.
Yeah, you bring up the VMate. The other one out there that we all are familiar with is the ecomi wiki, and OMI the Clown has been putting in work. I think the website's been down for a couple days, but it's because he's been planning some huge things. Like I saw this today, I was like, holy! He has some Chrome extension that's coming out, and he's just making it like this is ridiculous.
He's like doing RSI, I think, everything.
Yeah. And you're a crypto guy, so you read charts all the time, right? So this is going to be very helpful for people.
Yeah, for real.
I think he might have some plans where you can maybe get into the app with OMI as well, if he can figure that out in the back end. So that would, like you mentioned with the VMake, similar type of thing. If they start burning more OMI by these community-driven projects, it's only good for the token as well. So this is another point. I don't know if you guys have some promo codes. Maybe you didn't know, but obviously the Sorcerer Apprentice Mickey drop was today. The promo codes were delivered basically after the drop opened. And there was some errors. People were saying, I got an error on the phone. And they're saying use the web app to redeem it. So even Alex came out and said the web app is the way to go. So if you're worried that your promo code wasn't working and you're putting in a ticket, try it on the web app before you guys freak out. And then we got to give some shout outs to the guys who got the Juju today, guys and girls. But Diamond Ink OC, he drew me once. He's a tattoo artist. He got 2 secret rares on the drop today. Look at that. And a number 361. That's crazy.
Wow, 2 secret rares?
Yeah.
That's some crazy Juju.
So one on the drop and one with the promo code. So that's a double secret rare. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Here's Alex saying about the web app using that for the code. And he says, or don't. And he puts the flame emoji indicating that there could be a burn. And that's the one cool thing about this drop is we don't know how many they're gonna end up with until next week. So that's gonna affect the price once people realize, like, oh, you know what? Instead of being 1,940 of them, there's only 1,500 or something like that for the secret rare, right?
Yeah, I think it was, a lot of people, some people like it, some people don't like it. It wasn't perfect. There are some flaws to it for sure. I do think that it was innovative, and I think it's important that they be innovative, that they try new things. Sometimes they're gonna, hit, sometimes they're gonna fail, but your failures will set you up for future success, and it'll just, feed their information of what works and what doesn't work. So I thought it was innovative. The whole thing, the last golden moment was, was innovative, and I can understand also some people's frustrations with it, but I think it's a learning process.
Yeah, and yesterday we had the Veve Bros on the channel, and they had a stream today, and Alex jumped on that stream. I was actually watching it a little bit before we came on here, and it was kind of like the thing that there was all this talk about if you're holding all the golden moments, will there be any further utility? And he didn't say no. Like that for me is a little bit bullish on the Disney utility. He also mentioned that like they've had more discussions with Disney about utility. Obviously didn't get into it or say exactly what it was, but when he didn't say no to that other question, I think Dino asked it. It was kind of like, oh, maybe I need to get some more golden moments.
That's less expensive. Yeah. You're gonna rack them all up. It's a big one. Yeah. I think that I think that they do cater to their community in the long run. Mm-hmm. And if people want something, if enough people want something, they'll try to make it happen. Yeah. So, a lot of people want that utility. They want the utility attached to golden moments, to Disney and things like that. So I think Veve will try to make it happen. It's a matter of Disney making it happen and what they want to do.
Unprovoked, he brought up the thought of in-park promotion or discounts. So, and he mentioned that this drop that happened has been in the works for a long time in terms of the utility. So they've had to go through all this tape and whatnot. But when he said that, when he brought it up about the park discounts, now I was like, that's another thing. It's like, what's going to get me park discounts? What do you like? So all the speculation is going to start again. I know we're part of it by even talking about it, but that's what I heard from the video. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I didn't see the end of it. I don't know if he cuts back on any of these things, but that was bullish for me watching that interview. We got some more Juju here, and under retail. So this is the same guy, the same guy who hit the 2 secret rares, goes into the aftermarket and buys the ultra rare for 59 gems, number 854. So he's having a day. Yeah,
he's all in.
Yeah, and then we got Jack, a VIP on the channel. He's got ultra rare, and he also hit the uncommon number 295. So everyone's getting that Juju. Look at Jacob here. Jacob number Is that number 45? Number 45 on the ultra rare. So a lot of ultra rare good luck seems like today. And Elias joined yesterday, the VIP, and he got an uncommon and a secret rare and another uncommon on the rebound. So 3 hits today. Wild. Did you see this one?
No, I didn't.
So, this one was hilarious. Everyone's giving them a hard time about the water, right?
Yeah.
So this guy, shout out to Dex Prime, in reply to Veve official's tweet, and he's like, "Oh, look, check out the water effects," and he throws a cup of water at the table in AR. So I thought that was hilarious.
I love that we get like our own memes and things like this. You know what I'm saying? It's fun stuff for the community.
It's funny because like it's obviously a joke. Everybody's just like laughing about it. I think the animation is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It's actually like the first Mickey that has like a colored in face. The other ones are all like white, black and white the face. So really, really cool. I think that's a little bit underrated. I think Fantasia Mickey, once you do get a lot more people in the app, might be a little bit more sought after. And even without the water moving, I think it's a nice collectible.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice drop. It's an iconic version of Mickey for sure.
Yeah, so a lot about the drop today. Again, we saw Crispy Chilled before, but he went through and found out how many people redeemed the promo codes, it seems like, and it looks like they had 93% or 3,805 have been redeemed by unique addresses. And then there's a breakdown of people who got multiple promo codes. So I know you could share the promo code, it seemed like. Looks like one person claimed 7 promo codes, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. So most of the promos, so it doesn't look like there's going to be a big burn, in other words.
Well, so far as of this quote, it was only 4,000 that were redeemed out of 10,000. But I'm sure by the end of the week you might get a little bit more.
The funny thing is,
the
way they did it, you know, people can redeem after they see the price in the secondary market. So
yeah, and that's in your benefit. Like I mean, that's what if I had one, I didn't land it on the drop. I'm gonna get to you. We're gonna ask you right at the end about how your drop day went, but I didn't get one that people know about that already. My wife got one. We haven't claimed hers yet. I'm just trying to see if it's even worth it at this point. I mean, I ended up getting one today, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then we have no drops until Tuesday. So, I mean, the Mickey drop ended off the week big time. Then they're giving you the weekend off and Monday off. So maybe it's going to be a comic. Tuesdays, usually that's what we see, but who knows? Yeah, so that
should be getting some Star Wars.
Yeah, that's supposed to come before the end of the month as well, right? So
yeah,
whenever they say that, I feel like they always do it right at the end of the month. Oh, it's coming before the end of the month, and it's right.
September 30th.
Yeah, September 30th is the day. Like they make you wait and like mull over, like, is it actually coming? I also had some back and forth with Alex G today on Twitter. I don't know if you saw any of this, but
I did see that. Yeah, I caught that.
We were going back and forth. He mentioned that. Well, like I said, he was on VV Bro's channel, and then he said that I think VV3 commented, shout out VV3, great channel as well. He mentioned that they were next on his world tour because he's been on my collectibles channel now, and I put like a meme face saying like, oh, like expand on this, meaning like, when are you coming on our channel? And then a couple of our superstars like Superstar Art Heart, Superstar Jess, and a bunch of you guys came through and were roasting Alex to come on the channel. And he said, I will go on Superstar Money if the agenda is this. The whole punching thing. So he likes the intro. So that's good. Fantasy football, I'm cool with that. That could be included. And then this part is where we're off the table. Joe apologizes for clickbaity video titles and spending the first 10 minutes of every video telling people to subscribe. Alex, if we don't get the people to find us and subscribe, how are we going to get the content out to them? You know, like the whole beginning part, maybe when we have like 50,000 subscribers, we might cool it a bit, but we want to make sure that people subscribe and remember the channel so we can spread the love about Veve. So I came back with a counter. I said, listen, since we're talking fantasy football, you're going to offer me some bad trades. I'm going to reply with I'm going to counter your trade. I said, this is the better agenda. Punching intro. Alex tells people to subscribe so he can do his intro in his own way. He'll tell people to subscribe to our channel. Talk fantasy football for sure. Alex can talk about his favorite types of peppers, and then at the end, he can announce Pokemon coming to Veve. And I think everyone would really like that agenda better. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a much better agenda.
Yeah. So that 100%. Was fun. I had to share that. Now let's talk a little bit about the drop because I know that was a big deal today. Did you go for the drop? Did you land the lamp? How did it play out for you?
I actually sat out the drop. The lamp, I was too busy at work. I meant to go for it. I got super busy and I missed it, timing wise. The Mickey drop I sat out just because the edition sizes to me didn't make sense. I didn't like the edition sizes. So if I'll go for something with a high edition size like this, if I like it, like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I went for the drop because I love Boba Fett, and that's something that I'd like to, as a collector, I want that. Something like this one, I didn't like the edition size, so I sat it out.
No, and that might have been the smart play. I mean, I went for it on the drop because I'm really big into Disney. I don't know if you know that, but the Star Wars, like Boba Fett, I didn't go for that drop because I'm not a Star Wars guy. I understand the aura around him, and the reason I didn't go for Boba Fett was because I felt like his whole aura was like this mysterious thing, like the limited capacity that he was in. This is all from learning from the YouTube community, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Star Wars head, but like watching other creators. And when I saw that he came out with like similar mints to Vader, I was like, that kind of defeats the purpose that he's like supposed to be this quiet guy. Then they came out with the show. I think that kind of took away from his character as well. So I kind of saw that one coming. But that being said, I did go for a low mint in the secondary market just because of, I know when Star Wars fandom hits, it's going to hit hard. So I definitely wanted to have a piece of it. I just didn't want to go in and get a higher mint because I felt like that number was a higher drop number of mints. And this one, we're seeing the same thing here. Like, you're 100% right. I got taken up with the FOMO, with Mickey, with the Sorcerer hat. I mean, it's nostalgia.
So
for me.
You're a big Disney guy.
Yeah, I'm a big Disney guy.
What's your favorite Disney stuff?
So like I'm a Donald Duck guy. Like, I could do the voice. I'm not gonna do it here. But
come on.
Yeah, no. But
when OMI hits 2 cents, will you do your Donald Duck voice?
We'll do it. I'll come on your channel. I'll do it here. I'll do the whole intro for 10 minutes for Alex G in a Donald Duck voice. So it'll be a fun time. But like I said, like I went for it. I ended up landing the uncommon, which is the one that I would have wanted just because I like the animation. But I got a higher mint, and like my whole strategy has been like collecting long-term items, maybe a little bit lower mints, 3 digits preferably, for things that I like. And this is obviously something that I like. So I went for, I'm like, if I land the secret rare, I'm happy. If I land this, I'm happy. So that's where I was. I was like, if I land the ultra rare, I won't be the happiest, but I didn't think that I would get killed on it if I did land it. So that's one of my reasons why I went. And I ended up being right. Like, if I were to sell them all, like, you wouldn't have lost too big on any of these in secondary. I mean, I think maybe the ultra rare went down to like 45 or something at one point, but I never got into that one until afterwards. So I ended up going for the drop. I landed a high mint uncommon, sold that back into the market, and ended up buying like sub 200 mints of all 3. So I have a sub 200 mint set, a little bit more expensive.
Very nice.
Yeah, a little bit more expensive than I wanted, but I really believe in this IP with Fantasia Mickey, and I think the first like colored face in, like it's a clean collectible. It doesn't have the water effects. If it will ever get it, I don't know. I'm buying it based off how it looks now. But that was my drop day. End up spending.
Yeah,
money,
I thought it was super interesting that they threw the animated on the uncommon. I think they're definitely experimenting with how the market reacts and how people react to that. What drives value, animation, scarcity, and things like this, and they're playing around with these different ideas.
Yeah, and I can't believe how this one performed. Like, I mean, of the drop predictions, I was pretty close on the ultra rare and on the secret rare, but the uncommon, that it was going for like 60, 70 gems in the secondary. I mean, I think I had it at 100, so I was a little bit off, but like I didn't expect it to go like close to ultra rare. I mean, like it's a much better collectible than that ultra rare. And if you were to look at, I know there's way more mints, but I just thought the IP would carry it. I didn't. So it's something to look at now is like, guys, it doesn't really matter what they put in that slot. Like, you can put a golden goose egg in the uncommon. If there's too many of them for what we have in this app, it's not going to perform well. And we saw that today. Or maybe early on, it takes some time for people, because people weren't used to this type of drop. They didn't know what to expect. After next week, you'll have a better idea, but it's crazy. It's crazy what happened today. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, a lot of variables, again, with the drop, right? With the animation, and then also with 10,000 of them being held back for, reserved for people who had the promo code. So it was definitely interesting. It'll take a little time for the market to settle.
Yeah.
to see how it does. Yeah.
So no, just the fact it was so close to the ultra rare price, it was mind blowing for me. Maybe it's a good time to stack it for me if that's what that means, because I was all in on how that one looks.
So
At
are
top
you
end.
stacking? Are you a stacker of all things like Mickey? You got like a bunch of steamboats?
I right now, like I'm trying to collect everything that I want, and then maybe eventually I'll add to it if I have time in this bear market. But like today, I spent a little bit more than I wanted to, so got to cool it for a couple weeks here. Hopefully, some things come out that I don't want. I know the Star Wars ship might be a good flipping opportunity for me, but we'll see what the sizes of the mint numbers and on that are that, and then I'll see where I go from there. But yeah, no, if like after having like who was on the channel? NFT Flenny came on the channel, and we were discussing having multiples. He convinced me. It's like he's been through it already. You've seen it. I know you came in Golden Moments, but you've probably seen the marketplace before that.
Yeah.
He had a lot of the OG things, and he's like, I could really capitalize here, but then I would sell it, and he has that attachment. And like I said, I'm a big Disney guy. I got a lot of Disney in my collection. To sell it off, especially like the Donald Duck statue, all that stuff, that would really hurt me. So maybe I got to start to get into the things I really like, have at least a couple, or things that I think will perform well, have a couple of those, because then I have opportunity to be liquid and be ready.
I do stack.
Yeah.
I do stack a little bit and try to, I have a few Steamboat Willie commons.
Oh, nice.
I got a handful of like the Wonder Woman, which I think would do well over time, and things like that. I got a handful of the Boba Fett.
Nice.
So, I do try to stack some of the, I can't stack the expensive stuff, you know what I mean? But
yeah, it's tough now. I mean, the stuff's starting to come back down, right? So like now you're looking where you weren't looking before, and that's what makes it harder to stack the other things, right? So you got to kind of have those blinders on. I think Crypto Pro is one of the best at it on YouTube. I mean, he just goes and he's like, I want to get Sue Storm, and I'm gonna buy 10 of them, and I want this, and I'm gonna buy 10 of them. And it's like he's not looking anywhere else. He has like focus on like certain things like hoverboards and like I don't know. He knows the charts. That's why I brought him up earlier about those ecomi wiki charts. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I know that you got your start in OMI, you mentioned, into this environment. I think you saw this. You mentioned so OMI and Rhys is having an interview on Monday at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern with the CEO at C Shift and our Collective Shift, and it looks like. So Veve Digital Collectible came through and said, almost hoped it said chat about the OUP article. And then Rhys replied and said, come along and maybe you'll get lucky. So what does that mean? What are we getting? What do you expect?
He's teasing, man. Yeah.
What do you expect from OUP?
I'm expecting some improvements for sure. I need to review. My plan is this weekend to go back and look at the original article, because I've forgotten some of the stuff that was in there. But I know like the staking tiers, they were going to change and upgrade. So I need to go back in there and review it. But I'm really hoping we get some OMI to NFT as, that's like the main utility that'll drive both markets. I'm hoping that they release. I've learned to temper my expectations. So I don't expect anything right now, because it just leads to disappointment. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if I expect nothing, then I'm pleasantly surprised. I do think that they'll release the new plan in the next month or so, the new article. I don't expect OMI utility though until I don't know if it's going to come by the end of the year. I'm thinking early next year.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we get the article, it's something to look forward to. It could do wonders for the token. Who knows?
It's bullish. It just gives clarity. A lot of people don't know what's going on with the reserve. They don't know. They haven't expressed what their plans are for the reserve. So I think if people just have clarity, it just gives people reassurance. It's easy to get in a bear market. It's easy to buy into the bear market narrative and, run with the latest narratives and forget the long-term vision and where things are going. So it's good to have those reminders of what the plan is, where they're going, and what the steps are going to be to get there.
Yeah, giving that constant communication, I think, is key. They do the community updates, but there's been a lot about Veve lately, not too much OMI updates. So, I mean, this interview I'm really looking forward to. And if he does mention anything about OMI utility program, I think it'll be really bullish. We know Rhys is really big into the Comey side, so they got the right person over there talking about it, and I think it'll be a fun time. So whoever has some time that day should definitely go check that one out. The other thing I wanted to ask you, I want to see that collection behind you, because I see it every single video.
Oh.
You gotta explain like your setup there, what
right.
you're planning. Let me make you a little bit bigger here. Hold on. Whoops. Where am I here? I've never done this where I put only, there you go.
All right. Yeah, so this is my man cave down in my basement. So my wife gave me the basement because she didn't want this shit in the living room or upstairs. All right. So I got my wrestling figures, classic WWE stuff. I got some, I got a little Thanos. I got some Star Wars stuff behind me. Let's see. I got this stuffed shark over here. So my wife's Greek, and every couple of years I go to Greece, and there's pretty cool like taxiderm shop nearby with animals. So I got a puffer fish down there. I just things that represent my childhood, pop culture, things that I love. That's what I collect, and I got like a Tony Montana up there, Anchorman.
Yeah, it's all. I love that it's like so diverse, your collection. Like it's everything. Like you mentioned, you have taxidermy, you have some Veve things, Star Wars, wrestling. So it's like it says a lot about like things that you like, and it's a cool setup. It's a cool background. One of the best on YouTube. I mean,
thanks,
in
brother.
terms of visual. So again, really appreciate you coming through. We got to talk a little bit about OMI on this channel for once, and pick your brain about that, and also about the drop today that was very popular. So I think everyone's very happy with how this went. Guys, if you haven't already, go check out my friend Danny, his YouTube channel. Make sure that you're subscribed, and you are going to get some more content. That's what I'm trying to do here over these last couple of weeks, is maybe bring some creators that maybe you aren't familiar with. I mean, we might come, like some of you guys might be subscribed to both. Some of you guys might have never seen Danny. So hopefully we start to spread the word of this little project a little bit more. And the more people that see it, the more feel it, the more time we're spending on this, YouTube's going to start spreading it out as well. You know what I mean? Like they're going to say, oh, this Veve thing, a lot of people are watching it. So that's the whole point here. Try and spread the word of the app. And I think by subscribing to Danny, that's one way we can start to do that. And if you want to, you can also subscribe to us. I'm going to just go to the beginning here. Become a superstar, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. You can also become a VIP for $2.99 a month by hitting that join button. Danny, I'm going to give you a standing ovation for showing me your collection, helping me out. Really, really appreciate you coming on the channel again, like I said, and filling in for Rob. I mean, Rob's going to have to make some gift baskets for all of my guests the last couple of weeks to thank them for taking his place. But I mean, really, really appreciate you taking the time. You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You were really willing. So
thank you so much for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure to meet different people in the community, jump on channels. I love the interactions. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
great.
no, it's fantastic. And you always learn something new. Like I learned from you on this video, and I think everyone else here is really loving to meet the new creators. At least that's the feedback I've been getting. So really, really fun time. And hopefully we do it again, and maybe Rob will be here and we can have a whole round table, and there'll be a...
Yeah, I want to punch him. I want to punch him.
When the OUP comes out, maybe that's something where we'll get you on for sure. So again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye.